Back by nobody's demand, it's me. Today, we're going to review this chart, and I'm going to show you why I'm correct. I'll tell you what my answer is at the end, and we'll review why, and I'll tear down all of yours, because I think I'm right all the time. Note here, it's a plane. Hopefully I can edit this good, because I'm not great at it, but we'll get through together. The rules are pretty simple. Jeffrey there, flying the plane, no big deal. I feel like we're not going to get very far, but fine. You pick a seat on the 10-hour flight. I think the answer is to live with either your life or your sanity. One rule that I think everybody's forgetting. Invisible Woman is somewhere on the plane, and 1 out of 8 chances you're going to sit right in her lap and she's going to be mad. Most of us, not good. It's probably not fatal, and we're just going to have to live with our choices. I think I know where I think she is. We'll see if we have the same conclusion. Number 1, right there, smack dab. Whoops. Smack dab between Thor and Loki. Across the aisle, you'll notice Hela, Moon Knight in the back. I think it's important you acknowledge at least the people in the up, down, left, right, even if you don't look at the diagonals, because I feel like Moon Knight mumbling to himself, talking to his other people, not good. I think this one's an obvious one. I feel like they're going to bicker. It's just going to be fighting all the time. Not ideal. Here we are at number 2, and I don't know where it went. Oh well. Anyways, here we are. You got Psylocke, Iron Fist, Magic in the back, T'Challa in front. T'Challa, I feel like, not that big of a deal. But if you think about it, sitting around either of these two bing bongs, Psylocke and Iron Fist, you have like an 85% chance ninjas are about to attack. A fight breaks out. Magic immediately kills you with her gigantic sword. Best case scenario. Also wouldn't pick this one. Here we are at number 3. This one's kind of a toss-up because Stephen Strange is probably fine, and as long as you don't foolishly tell Magneto that you hate mutants, or you are an actual Nazi, which, I don't know, seems like less of a given these days, it's probably not that big of a deal. Again, Moon Knight's there, but at least in front of you, you can deal with a crazy person and just ignore him easier than, like, Tony behind you. Probably fine. It's probably not that big of a deal. This is okay, but I do believe Susan Storm is right here. I just feel it. This is another tough one, but as you can see, we've got Captain America and the Fantastic Man himself. I feel like the question is worded so that you think that Susan Storm is right here, and probably not. Her husband's there, and sometimes he's a bonehead, but you gotta look behind you at Frank Castle. So, if you can put up with him, for you it's probably an okay seat. Mr. Fantastic, who knows? Steve, great guy, probably good to go. Across the aisle from Bucky, I think we're all right here, but it's still not what I would pick. Number 5, we're looking over up at you, Tony, and this is also an okay one. There's a caveat here. I also don't think Susan Storm is here. I assume Tony is very annoying because if he's not next to Steve, if he's not next to Reed, he's talking about being almost as smart as Reed, and it's just not going to end. And then Stephen Strange is right there. It's just not going to be good. It's a window seat, only advantage. I feel like Cloak is probably fine. He probably doesn't bother other people on planes. At 6, we're looking right there. Another window seat, big bonus, and Mantis. And normally, I would go, okay, great. Mantis is here, no big deal. But you gotta look at those people around you. You got the stink of the sea right there in front of you. And then back there behind you, old cigar and whiskey Wolverine. No ninjas, only one ninja guy, but I'm telling you it's not gonna smell great. No amount of Mantis taking pity on you and putting you to sleep or making you forget is ever gonna wash that stink out of your hair and clothes. Here at number 8, we're at the finisher. This is the last one, the one for all the marbles. Personally, this is where I sit. You know damn well Peter and Penny know how to be on public transport and how to be okay. Peter's probably watching a movie. Dagger probably not that big of a deal. It's a window seat. Big if. It's a good candidate that Sue Storm is right here. Canonically, likes Peter. He's like the fifth four. Sometimes you just gotta deal. The only thing that would make this bad is the same thing that would make 5 and maybe 3 bad. There's no model for Penny outside of her armor, so good odds you're sitting next to the mech itself. Not great, but the same thing could be said for Tony sitting right behind you putting his iron repulsor knees in your back. For the sake of clarity, I did not realize there was a 7. It makes sense, but I don't know, I feel like I didn't see it. This one's not bad, honestly. Luna's probably pretty bearable in that, like, you've probably sat next to an influencer at some point. It's probably fine. Groot's right there, as long as he doesn't smell like one of the trees that smell bad all the time, like a walnut or something. Not that big of a deal. And as long as you can put up with Rocket right there, it's probably fine. Black Widow's probably pretty bearable to be behind. It's fine. It's not what I would choose. I feel like putting Susan Storm here, it's weird. I don't know, I just don't feel it. Doesn't feel right to me. I wouldn't pick it, but I believe in the spider people, and I refuse to be wrong. As a bonus round, I feel strongly she's probably in the pilot seat next to Jeffrey. It's the only thing that makes sense, and as a mother, I choose to believe she would keep us safe. Other than that, we're probably not going to make it very far into this 10-hour flight, so it's not that big of a deal if you pick wrong.